guys, welcome to a keto family. Today I'm going to show you how I made my keto hot sauce, and it's pretty much only keto because I'm not adding any additive sugars, like no sucrose, no honey, no maple syrup. And I'm going to show you how you can get a smoky flavor without having to go outside in the freezing cold, how it is in New York today, while getting nice flavor to your vegetables. I'm going to sear them onto the stove directly. You're just going to put the hot peppers, I used jalapeños today, directly onto the stove until they get a nice sear. And then I'm going to add in my onions on top directly onto the stove, doing the same thing until they get nice and black. And then I'm going to do that to my onions. I'm going to do that to the garlic, the sun-dried tomatoes. And I'm just trying to get a nice smoky taste. As you can see right here, I'm showing the jalapeno how nice and dark it is. I'm not trying to burn them. Even though it kind of looks burnt, I'm really not burning them. I'm just giving a nice taste to the hot sauce. And you'll see that it's going to give like a smoky, really in-depth taste without having to add any sugar. It's really releasing all of its natural flavor, and you can skip this if you're not comfortable. It makes you a little nervous. And right now I'm going to do the same thing to the sun-dried tomatoes. And you don't need to add sun-dried tomatoes if you don't feel comfortable or you're allergic to tomato. You don't need to. I just like the flavor of it. Garlic is totally a necessity. I love garlic. I'm using that entire head, and it's like 6, maybe it's too much for you, but it's perfect for me. And you can see the onions here are getting a little bit of like a little shard on it, a little black, releasing some of its natural sweetness. And I know for really keto, you don't saute it too much. And I'm gonna put it on the stove, and I'm really not caramelizing it. I'm just going to get some of that bite out of it. I don't want just raw garlic and raw onions. So right now I'm just cutting it in half. Be careful, it's still hot. Literally 2 seconds ago it was on the stove. I'm peeling off the outer layer. I'm going to use it. Do not toss that. I'm just using it because right now it's a little hard to cut that. And now I'm just cutting off the tops. You can see I don't use the tops. I just compost it on my local Grow NYC. And if you do keto, you eat a lot of oil. You guys know this. So I'm adding a good amount of oil for the onions. I used about 3 tablespoons. Then I'm just cooking the onions. I am not caramelizing the onions. You know, guys, for keto, we do not like caramelized onions. I mean, I love it, but if you are trying to be really strict and good with your diet and your lifestyle, you don't need to caramelize it. I'm just cooking it. And then you can see here, just tossing it around. I don't want them to get caramelized, so I'm really paying attention to it. And it's so easy. Like, I love this recipe. I've been doing this for a while. I have all those jalapenos from my local supermarket, and I don't want them to go bad. I have so many in my fridge. So right now I'm just cutting them in big chunks because they're very, not completely cooked through, but they are very a little cooked, and I don't want them to get mushy or lose any of its deliciousness. So once the onions are done cooking, I'm in the same pan. I'm gonna add in like a tablespoon. I don't want them to fry, so I'm not putting too much. I just want them to cook. And I'm cooking that until I could put the knife through it and there's no resistance. I'm gonna cook that, and then I'm gonna cut up my whole head of garlic and add that in. I already roasted the sun-dried tomatoes. You can see in the back there, a little bit dark, and I didn't show it just because it literally takes like 5 seconds. And so jalapenos are cooking. I just put that aside in the same pan. You don't need to use any other, same flavors. We're gonna blend it anyway. I'm gonna add the garlic now. And the oil that I'm using, I do not like to cook with olive oil or canola oil. The oil I'm using is avocado oil. And I think that it doesn't give really a flavor, but I think it's really good to cook with. And now I'm gonna cut up the sun-dried tomatoes. And sun-dried tomatoes don't really need to be cooked. I'm just adding it in there just to release a little flavor into the garlic. And this is just what I'm used to. You really don't need to cook it if you don't want to. I'm literally gonna cook that until the garlic is no longer raw. I'm not that crazy about raw garlic, really, in anything, so I'm just cooking that. This is optional. I saw a couple people actually not cooking anything and putting everything in the blender, then cooking the sauce when it was finished. If that's how you like to do it, do it. It's so much simpler, but I feel like you lose a little bit of the flavor doing that. So right now I'm going to blend it. I did not add water to blend it. I added about 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and about 2 to 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. And I didn't add water just because I didn't want to dilute it. And right now you can season it however you like. I have the salt back there. I'm going to add in about 2 pinches of salt. And you see that I added a bunch of limes. I'm going to put everything in the description bar below. And I was debating if I wanted to put cilantro in or not, but your girl loves cilantro, and it really gave a beautiful kick to the hot sauce. Totally optional. You don't have to do it. Most people don't, but that's what I like, and I think it came out really good. So right now I'm just gonna blend it. I use my Ninja blender. You can use whatever blender if you had a bullet, it works too. I just like this one because it has a really nice blade and it makes it very fine. I'm just showing you the apple cider vinegar right now. You don't need to use that brand as long as it's cold pressed. Then you don't lose any of its natural deliciousness. And then now I'm gonna put it, if you had a chinois, I don't at my house, I broke my old one. You can just put it through a really fine sieve and then just push it through. If you want it chunky, I've seen a lot of local, let's say Mexican restaurants, when they make their own hot sauce, it's normally a little bit chunky. I'm not that crazy about that, so I put mine through a sieve, and there you go, guys. It's an amazing, so simple hot sauce.
Bye, guys.